I gotta go close this door. What's going on, Timmy? That's 2 nights in a row you got a notification. Going on left-handed. What's going on, Pest Hunter, Jason? Pest Hunter, you're probably gonna be back and forth on another channel, aren't you? Who's the other person live tonight? Remove those things from behind me. We'll turn it like that. Oh, dang, 4 people. AGEX'S Outdoors. Who's that? I don't think I've ever heard of him. Look it up on my tablet. Is that his channel name? AGEX'S Outdoors? Dang, 5 people watching. Oh, dang, we got 12 people in here. Live just... What do you mean, on mine? That's crazy. Anybody else having that issue? Anybody else having issues with sound? That's funny. Yeah, a lot of people are having issues with them. That's crazy. It could be. Could be. I don't know where Colin's at and everybody else. I'm doing good. How about you? Getting ready for tomorrow. There's coyotes firing up out there. Somebody must have, well, it's our youth hunt weekend too, but obviously I'm not a youth, so I can't take a deer this weekend, but someone probably shot a deer this morning or this evening, and coyotes found it already. Just having coffee. Man, if I had coffee this late at night here, 8, a little bit after 8 o'clock, my butt would be up until 4 a.m. Remember one night, I think it was before deer season, the night before deer season opened up, myself and buddies ended up having coffee nonstop the whole night, or from 6 p.m. and we stopped about 10 p.m. And I don't know if it was because we were excited because, you know, tomorrow, the next day is opening day of archery or what, but we couldn't sleep. It could have been the coffee, it could have been other things too. I mean, I'm more of a morning coffee drinker. I mean, I'll have a few cups throughout the middle of the day, but I can't really drink coffee much in the evenings. Like, I have to be super tired now. I'm gonna be up early tomorrow, so I probably end up having coffee tomorrow afternoon just to keep me awake. You're crazy, Jason. Do you still drink water and stuff? Because there can't be a, you can't drink coffee 24/7. You got to have other liquids in your body. If I drink coffee for all day for 2 days, I'd be so hyper that I don't know what I would do with myself. Gosh dang mosquito. Well, yeah, Timmy, that's good news. Hopefully she's doing better when she comes home. Now it's your job to take care of her from here on. Timmy, I gotta come up there, up to your area. Normally I want to go catfishing not far from you. You know where I'm talking about, but I just don't really have the time to drive all the way up there yet. Yeah, make sure you guys put Timmy's wife in your prayers. Hopefully she's doing pretty good. Yep, I agree. Hopefully she's getting back. I mean, hospitals, they're not, I mean, they'll help you out, but they're nothing like sleeping in a hospital bed, especially for that long. For 38 years, dang. Man, we did have quite a few people in there at first, and now it's just dropped down. I feel like I have more people, but it's not showing up. Holy cow. Whew. That's crazy. Jeez. Hospitals are, I mean, I was in the hospital last winter for a day. Well, not even really hospital for a day. But long story short, guys, I ended up having some weird chest pains and stuff like that. So, long story short, they ended up not admitting me into the hospital, but ended up staying in this little ER room in this little bed for like 5 hours, whatever. Jeez. They're not cheap. And that's why these nurses and everybody that works in the hospital that does the serious stuff, like RN nurses, they don't make so much. I got a buddy's girlfriend that is a RN nurse. She's making pretty good money, but she's not making as much as the people that actually do surgeries. Like, those people are crazy, the amount of money. And obviously, for that bill, that's crazy. And like, she's about ready to move up to the higher level, but she's been trying her hardest to get up to that level, but she's got to go back to school for it. They won't accept it the way she is right now as certified. 3.5 months in a rehab. Dang. Rehabs are, I don't like rehabs. My grandma was in a rehab recently. And I mean, the place that she was at was pretty decent, but rehabs are, I don't like them either. Like, I wouldn't even put, I wouldn't want to be put in a rehab, and I'm not going to put any of my family in a rehab if I don't have to. They're nasty. Yep. I mean, that's same thing with kind of my grandma too. She had to learn how to walk again, but because hospitals still claim they don't do any of that stuff, like they're basic. What's going on, Colin? I'm glad you're in here tonight. Hopefully everybody's night's going good. Guys, there will be a video out on Monday morning from tomorrow's squirrel opener or small game. I do plan on filming. I ended up switching to use the Umrex Gauntlet tomorrow. I ended up shooting the gun yesterday and discovering, or the day before, for the whole entire week up until yesterday, and I found out that that Simmons scope, every time that I would shoot, I have the side shot, so I was watching back the footage, and I could see the reticle in the scope moving left, right, and I would have it zeroed in, and then my next shot would be off to the left, and then my next shot would be off to the right. And I was dead center hold every time. I wasn't holding for wind, I wasn't holding left, I wasn't holding right. I was perfectly holding dead center crosshairs, and the reticle in the scope is shifting left and right. So I don't know if Simmons is gonna warranty it out, but at this moment, I can really care less. So we currently right now are sighted in with the Spectrum scope from Center Point, the first vocal plane. I put that scope on the gun, and I literally had the gun dialed in at 35 yards within 5 shots. And I shot it again tonight. And it's still just driving tacks, one pellet on the next. Like, so that was the issue with the Simmons, and I never noticed that. So it could have been like that all summer. It could have been like that late winter last year hunting with it, and why a lot of my shots might have been off to the left, even though I was holding dead on. And then, like I said, next shot would be off to the right. My up and down were perfect, but it was my left and right that were shifting. And I was watching the reticle. As I would shoot, the reticle would move in the scope. So, I mean, it's a good scope, but not when the reticle does that. Like, I don't want to even mess around with it, so I'm gonna call Simmons probably on Monday morning and just see. We'll see if it's something that they can warranty to fix, or if it's something that they're gonna say, "Oh, sorry, you know, we can't fix it because it's." I don't know. I think I paid like $50 for it. But I could literally, guys, like I said, it goes left and right, so. Rest in peace, scope. Yeah, it's pretty much. I've had it for a long time. I've had it on the Avengers. I had it on the Gauntlet. I had it on the Storm Rider. I had it on a lot of other guns. I even had it on my 22 long rifle. So it's got plenty of use. So it could have been just, it got wore out. The reticle from the recoil. Even though there's not recoil on air guns, but could have been just weakening out after time. Who knows? But that Spectrum scope, first focal plane, I mean, you sight it in at any power, and you can go, that one goes from 4x to 12. So you could sit there and zoom out to 4x and zoom all the way into 12x. And it's got the adjustable objective on the side, not on the top or on the front of the scope. So all you gotta do is just turn the knob literally right at arm's length, so I don't have to sit out there in the field and I have to reach way out in front of the scope to turn it. It's literally right next to me. And obviously, first focal plane, you could, like I said, guys, you could sight it in at any power. And then I tested it tonight from 4x out to 12x, and it's still driving tacks. CV Life, never heard of them. Are they first focal plane or are they second, or is there options? Because I'm starting to kind of like the first focal plane scopes. Not just due to the fact that you could have them at any power when you sight them in. And then you could switch power throughout it. And it'll be dead on still, but I've never heard of the CV Life. They're probably made by Crosman. I should actually look them up. What model do you have? See, 6 by 24 by 50. I had that Element Optics, and I still have one. And I mean, with the Element Optics, if you guys don't know about them, with the first vocal or the second vocal plane, you have to have them at 6x, 12x, or 24x with the second vocal plane. You couldn't set it in between. And I don't like that factor, the elements. So you're paying all that money, and it can't even shoot at any other power between 6, 12, and 24x. And then you got to buy these stupid adjustable rings that I had to buy. Because my sponsor wouldn't, or they weren't in stock. The FX No Limit rings weren't in stock when he sent it to me because of COVID stage. So I had to go out and buy West Hunter adjustable rings and use them, and I can't. It sucks. So I kind of like the first focal plane. Now when you go up to the first focal plane element scope, they're double the price. So I mean, I kind of like the lower budget friendly scopes. I mean, obviously my element is crystal clear, but I'm kind of scared to use it when I'm hunting because of how much power there is through the whole scope. And 6-ax is fine. 12-ax is like, geez, crazy. And then 24 is like you're looking through a tunnel. And that's your options on the second vocal plane, where the center point spectrum scopes, I don't even think center point even makes them. I know they got bought out, but I don't even think they make that model anymore. But that scope I've had for many, many years, and me and a few other buddies ended up going out and buying them when they had them on sale for $60 out the door on their website. That was before they ended up switching their name or got bought out by this other brand company, whatever. Now owned by Gamma. Right, left-handed you do. And that's the problem. Like, they created that element because it's part of FX line. They created the scope for the FX air guns that have the 20 millimeter canted rail on their guns. And then you still have to have the adjustable rings for the element optics, which I was talking to a buddy last night on the phone, and he's thinking about buying an FX gun. And I said, yeah, be prepared to spend this amount of money, spend that amount of money, and then, you know, be prepared if you're going to go that level of scope that you're going to have to buy these adjustable rings just to get it to shoot. Right. Well, yeah, Timmy, I know Crosman owns Center Point, but I didn't know Gamma bought them out. I didn't know Gamma bought out the whole company. That's crazy. What's perfect for close range? Jason. Sorry, there's so many comments, guys, that sorry, Jason, I don't know what brand or what scope you're talking about. If you're talking about the one that oh no, there it is. I'm sorry, Jason. The 4x32 from Hatson. Actually, I have a Hatson scope from my old break barrel 25, which I might end up breaking that out for a squirrel hunt this year, maybe. I kind of do miss using that gun. Heck, that was my first 25 caliber break barrel, or 25 caliber air gun, and I wiped out some squirrels with it, real close range. I'd probably say about 30 yards max, but it would put the smack down on them. Geez, my one cell cam is blowing up right now. On the Storm Rider, I had a Gamma 4x32, and that was enough. Out to about 50 yards, I could see clear as day. That's nice. Oh, never mind. This is the center point. I thought it was the Gamma. This is the old center point scope 4x32s that you'd get with their brake barrels. And literally this scope is unbreakable. I mean, it's made for the brake barrels. It did work on the Storm Rider, which I gotta still kind of mess around with that, guys. So that gun won't be in commission probably for next week, I would say. Next week, I'm really gonna work on that gun. And I watched back from when I first got the Storm Rider, and that gun does like 13 grain pellets, and I don't care for 14s, but I did like the 16 grain pellet in the videos that I did. So I gotta order some 13 grain pellets. Yeah, that's crazy, Tim. All these American-made companies that are making American-made stuff are now getting bought out by China, and it's like, geez. And then their quality controls are going down, and it's sad. It's bad. Hang on, guys. I gotta go out to my vehicle and grab something real quick for tomorrow. You know how I feel about gamers. I got a buddy of mine that lives down in Ohio, and he currently just got the Benjamin Armada 22 cal, and he's been whacking squirrels left and right because their season's been open for quite some time now, and he loves that Benjamin Armada 22, and he's about ready to get rid of his Avengers. After I told him that I can't find the part for my gun, he's kind of thinking about selling his Avengers because of it. He's about ready to go buy the Marauders and stuff like that, because I guess the Armada and the Marauders are unbreakable. So I'm thinking about buying a Benjamin Marauder. I mean, I had the Benjamin Bulldog, but problem is with that gun, sorry guys, I'm literally looking at a light. There we go, that's better. I had the Benjamin Bulldog, but that thing was such an air hog, and the pellets and the slugs were ridiculous price. But that gun never did anything, never had issues at all. The only issue I had with it was the O-ring in the breech. There's a little tiny O-ring that where the pellets go in, they hit that O-ring right there, that wore out, but I replaced it. Never had issues. And literally I spent more time airing up that gun than shooting it, because I would only get total maybe 5 shots total out of it. And it wasn't because it was leaking air. There was no leaking air at all, but just the spread of consistent shots, because it uses so much air to push that pellet or slug out. I only got 5 good shots, and then after that, I couldn't even shoot it from 3,000 down to 1,000 psi. If I shot it from 3,000 down to 1,000, by the time I got to 15-ish, it would just, you would watch that pellet, even that 81 grain JSB pellet would just drop. I mean, even at 50 yards, like they would just come out of the barrel and just, so it was like crazy. I wouldn't even, I mean, people use them for big game hunting. That's probably what I would use it for. But it's not a target gun. It's not really, I mean, it's a hunting gun for big game, which is like one shot. But for anything else, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I got a, like I said, the Benjamin my buddy has, but he bought it. He bought it off another guy, so I don't know if this guy put aftermarket stuff in it or not, but he don't have a chronograph, and he's shooting JSB 1813s out of it. And I told him, I said, I watched Airgun Angie video on it, which is getting like 705 feet per second, like 21-ish foot-pounds of energy. And, but obviously it's doing the trick. I mean, he's getting almost as many shots as I'm getting out of this new gauntlet from my buddy. Gamma will not sell you any parts. Well, we'll see. I mean, if this Spectrum scope goes out, I'll just go to my Element and put it on the gun for the rest of the winter. Or I'll go out and buy some other brand of scope, the Hammer scopes or the Hawks. The Hawk brand, I guess, is supposed to be really good. They do have a budget-friendly line of them, so I might look into that. I know they got UTG, I think, makes some pretty good scopes. The little Bug Buster. I don't even know if they make that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they got bought out too. I know there's some like other brands that are kind of starting to come up that are newer. I know West Hunter, I have their adjustable rings. They do make scopes, which I don't know anything about, so I've seen a few videos on their scopes, but I don't know it compared to any other brand scopes. If they're better, worse, good, bad, ugly, whatever. Or if they're just, they're pretty reasonable, I did find out, but yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, that Spectrum goes out, then I can care less. I actually had to warranty one out already because I put it on the Gamma Swarm Magnum. The Swarm Magnum ate that reticle up. So thank God Centerpoint at that time did a warranty claim. I had to send in the broken one, and they ended up sending me a brand new one. but that was way before COVID and all that. That's how the spectrum is. I did notice that, Tim. The spectrum does that. But it doesn't do it like all the time. It does it very often. Like I have to purposely have the sun on top of the tree or over top of the tree, and I'm looking straight up 45 or whatever degrees that would be. And I'd have to be looking that. But the sun's like tomorrow morning, obviously the sun's gonna be out. So if I'm like looking straight out, it don't show white. But I have to be looking all the way up into it. And then I got the Pinties. That is a pretty good skull. Oh, Jesus, camera's blowing up tonight. Probably raccoons out there. The field ripple. Or the fill ripple. You mean the fill probe? I gotta look at this camera because it's driving me nuts. Yeah, I know. There's photos coming in. No, it's just a possum. Here, you guys want to see something? Look at this little sucker come in. He comes in every night. A little bit after 7. Might be hard for you guys to see. But he comes in a little bit after 7. Every night. That's crazy. It's got a sunshade on it. Hang on. You got the generation before that one. Like I said, I've never heard of that. I mean, I probably have heard of them, but just never really looked into that brand. Like, do they come in different reticles, or is it more like mil dots, or is it basic 30-30 reticle duplex, or can you get them in like different, like mil dots, MOAs, um, stuff like that? They've gotten a lot better. Huh, I might have to look into them. Guys, this thing is the best when you're out hunting or hiking or you're walking down a nature trail or whatever. Get you one of these little fanny packs or chest pack. I wear this all season, from deer to squirrel to coyotes to checking cameras, everything. Then you got binoculars in it, so you flip that up and it's super quiet. You pull up your binoculars, or you don't even have to use it for your binoculars. You could put your phone in there. You could, you know, do whatever, survival, things in there. And it's got these little side pouches that I keep my magazines in for tomorrow. And then over here is my windicator, that I basically can check the wind every hunt. And then on the back of it, which I use for my phone, is back here. I just slide my phone in there, and it's got the adjustable everything. I mean, you can adjust it, and literally it's the simplest things, and then everything's at your arm's reach. Like, nothing is down in your pockets weighting you down. Nothing. I mean, you could put a rangefinder in there, anything. And then if you have where your binoculars have that attachment, which mine don't, I used to have the other one on, it comes with these little things. And then everything's right here, even though it kind of looks offline or kind of off of my body, but it's actually set for when I'm wearing my hunting clothes. But yeah, I mean, it's so quiet too, because there's no zippers. Like, you just flip it up, and I can pull up my binoculars, look, put them back in, and then just, all it is a little not Velcro, a little, whatever you call it, bungee. And it's got the little clip underneath. Vortex makes one, but Vortex is way expensive. And I always carry my spare mags in there. If I'm taking a shotgun or a rifle, if I'm taking one of them, I pull out the mags from the air guns, put shot shells in there. Or if I'm taking my 350 Legend out deer hunting, if I'm going coyote hunt with the 243, I can put spare ammo in there. Ducks and Bucks makes a nice one. I mean, it's perfect because everything's right here. You guys probably saw, well, no, you probably saw it that I was using it last squirrel season. But it's so easy because everything's right here. And I don't have to, like I used to wear the old-fashioned fanny packs, like you clip around your belt. Then when you get up in the tree, you gotta unclip them. Or like I used to, not unclip it. Well, when you're sitting there for multiple hours, your fanny pack is like up to your stomach and it's uncomfy. So something like this, literally super light, and I could use both hands. I could shoulder the gun perfect, shoot all the way across without having it in the way. It's perfect. Good night, left-handed. Yeah, I'm not gonna be on much longer, guys. As the dog's going nuts. All right, y'all. Make sure you guys stay tuned for Monday. I might end up throwing maybe a little short in tomorrow night. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, it'll feel good to be back out, but I'm not really looking forward to the mosquito heaven. So, I don't know, guys. I might get out of here. It's after 9 o'clock. I'm gonna get to bed. Plan on being out there, not bright early, but a little bit as it's starting to get light. Because they've been kind of showing up about, a lot of people are saying currently at this moment that they're showing up more for between 8 and 9. So maybe I don't have to be up as much. So I don't know. All right, y'all, I'm out of here. Have a good night. If you guys are going out hunting this season at all, make sure you're being safe out there. Don't do anything stupid. Always look around your surroundings around you when you go to shoot. Make sure no animals, people, houses, dogs, farm animals, anything like that. So make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already, and look forward to a Monday small game season opener video. Take care, y'all.